Hi, everybody. I'm here with Susan Curley, Clinical Director at Marietta Counseling in Marietta, Georgia. And we are here chatting today about, let me change my screen to, no, I want to do speaker view. No, I want to do this view. All right. We were chatting on Facebook about the fact that Susan is having good fortune converting her in-person clients to the online telehealth platform. And I know that there are a lot of you that were having some struggles with that. So I thought maybe Susan and I could just jump on here and she could share with us what she's finding is working for her in order to help her clients feel comfortable to make the change pretty easily. So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing, Susan, that's been working.
Well, thanks for having me on, Lynn. It's good
Yeah.
to see you again.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is sort of, it reminds me of a developmental process. And it's kind of, think back to when you were first starting out as a therapist and, you didn't have that confidence or that ability to trust in the process.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really similar. It really parallels the process of encouraging our clients to hop on to telemental health and to try it with us and to grow with us. And so part of it is kind of demystifying it for them. And part
Right.
of it is having, confidence in ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, modeling that courage to be imperfect
Yeah.
and letting the client know, hey, this is new for us too. This is not, this is not something that we're used to, but we can do it together and we can figure it out together. And, just like any other growth process, there might be some bumps along the way, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. And just really, you know, helping them feel comfortable and validating their own anxiety around trying this new medium, especially with kids,
Yeah.
and encouraging them to be flexible. Um, and I think, too, one of the things that helped initially was to do a parent session first.
Mm.
And so once the parents can hop on board, then they sort of can appreciate what it feels like and can see, what, this can work. And then they're more likely to kind of then let their child try it as well.
So I'm hearing two main points here that I think are so important. One, I'm hearing you talk about leaning into the relationship that you have already existing with your clients and
Mhm.
trusting in the connection. And that combined with the confidence of your ability to jump into something that may be unfamiliar, but again, with the relationship, help the client to feel like this is something we are going to explore together and we can figure out together, right?
Yes, yeah, very much of a co-creating, mutual type of process.
Right. And so what about, I can just hear some people asking the question, what about the clients who just right off the bat say, I'm not comfortable doing online. I don't want to do video. I'm wondering if some of the reason maybe you're able to, and you can tell us if you've had that experience, but you would be able to get past that is because of your confidence in your connection with your clients and your confidence in yourself to be able to trust the process and to be able to figure things out. And I'm wondering if maybe it could be that the therapists that are saying or feeling like this is not working or I'm not succeeding at this,
Mhm.
maybe it is just needing to kind of like you are saying to lean into, remember you're a good clinician, you know what you're doing, different circumstances, but it's really about the connection with the clients, right?
Yeah, and maintaining it over this period, and we have no idea how long it's going to be.
Right.
And so, yeah, and being real with them and kind of saying, yeah, I know it's uncomfortable. And, what do kind of, what do you say we try 10, 15 minutes, and
Yeah.
just give them the opportunity to experience it. And really, a lot of them too, when you express to them that it's not, you're expanding your own window of tolerance, and
Hmm.
this is what we ask our kids to do in session all the time.
True.
And we can all do that. We can all stretch our window of tolerance, and we can help the parents do that. We can help the parents help their child. And so, but we have to believe it works. We have to believe in it. If we don't believe in it, there's no way. They need our support right now. They need our courage so that they can borrow some of that.
I think that's one of the humps that I'm noticing a lot of therapists are having trouble even getting up, up here, not much less getting over the hump, is
Yeah.
that um, there is an underlying fear that's being translated as a belief that this won't work.
Right.
And and what you're saying is if you're stuck in that place, you're right, it probably won't work,
Hmm.
but it can work. And so maybe it's a matter of connecting with another therapist who has gotten over the hump and getting some encouragement, whether that's a peer or somebody who's providing consultation. And I don't know if you even have time for consultation, but I will post your contact information below when I post this online so people could get in touch with you. Because I think
Okay.
sometimes it might just be helpful. And I definitely have been doing this with a lot of people, providing consultation just to help them get over that hump. And once they
Yeah.
do, and they just kind of push through the fear, then they're coming back and saying, oh my gosh, I had the best session. And they're realizing that it really is what you said. It's about the connection with the relationship with the client to begin with, and having faith
Hmm.
in that.
Yeah. And being open, excuse me, being just being flexible. Yeah, like I've had some sessions. Well, I had one session where I basically looked at the ceiling the majority of the time, but there were still those golden nuggets in that session.
Mhm.
And then I had others where I've been running around the house. I got my cat in here. I grabbed my puppet just to get him to get on the screen. And I'll be talking like this, and it's just whatever it takes, and using your creativity and being you, and just trying to pretend that everything around you is just like it's just as it should be, and just be the you that you are in your therapy room.
Yeah. I heard,
And
oh, sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I heard Ileana Gell talking about this in other words, in different words than you're using, but very similarly in another video, in which it just made my heart just kind of swell with hope for all of us, because she was talking about being curious about this new experience with our clients and saying,
Yeah.
wow, look at this. Isn't this is different. This is new. And just having that wonder and that delight in this process that we're exploring together. And again, that comes back to that connection. I love what you're saying too about being flexible. It's a good idea to have some props around, like you're talking
Yeah.
about, stuffed animals, whatever you can grab, um,
Right.
and have that with you, and just to engage the client and to get them to join you in the process. Are you finding that it's helpful for with your child clients to involve the parents in the sessions more than you normally would in the playroom in person?
That's a great question. What I try to do is as part of the informed consent process, and having them sign an updated one that includes telemental health,
Right.
we do have like a document that we can provide to them, and it depends on the age group, and it's separated by age in terms of what materials to have around. Now, I'm more likely to use something like that with probably a middle to older elementary age child,
Hmm.
where I might be doing some more active Adlerian play therapy kinds of things, trying to build up their courage or their sense of being capable,
Hmm.
or their connection. Um, but for the younger ones, I typically just go with the flow, and just like I would in session.
Right.
And so depending on the age of the child, I will prep the parents accordingly. And I usually just ask that they have a safe, quiet place that they can go to,
Hmm.
which if you've got siblings and then you've got parents working from home, isn't always possible.
Right.
And then, I've done sibling sessions. And
Yeah.
again, pulling into the Adlerian piece of lifestyle.
Hmm.
Lifestyle is a huge component of conceptualizing a
Yeah.
child. And
Right.
when do we have this opportunity to really immerse ourselves into a client's lifestyle in this format? I mean, so in some ways it's better,
Yeah,
but
it's a window into their world that we would never have had otherwise, because we don't,
yeah,
well, most of us don't do in-home work.
right.
Some therapists do, but yeah. So
Really.
I'm hearing also the flexibility piece that you talked about earlier has to do with pulling in siblings into the session, bringing and the parents in, and kind of, but going with the flow is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's been some debate, I will just use the word, in the circles of child therapy about whether or not child-centered play therapy is appropriate, with telehealth. And,
Yeah.
I have argued that, and I respect all, opinions on this, but
Yeah, I'm familiar with
you're
both
familiar with that
sides of
that
that
that that
argument. Yeah.
discussion. And I find what you're saying, that we still can have the element of connectivity, of following the client, of reflection and tracking, and allowing the client to lead, even with the telehealth. One component I've found is that sometimes I've needed to have parents, or I've had my consultees need to have parents there to help with the technology piece with the younger children. Otherwise, they're dropping the device or that kind
Hmm.
of thing. What have you found with the younger ones and the
Yeah.
child-centered piece?
What I have done with that is, like, if I've lost the connection with the child, I try to let them know ahead of time
Mhm.
that, if you can't hear me, if you can't see me, and you can't figure it out, go get mom.
Yeah.
Um, if if for some reason it's been more than a few minutes and I've got nothing and no response, then I will text or call the parent.
Got it.
So
Mhm.
I'm usually doing it on. I've been using DoxyMe because Council hasn't, and it's been very laggy.
Okay.
Plus, it's harder for the kids to log into.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'll get a hold of the parent using my phone, and then they'll come in and do whatever they need to do. So you're juggling more. And then to your point about the child centered piece, um, I respect that, and I haven't taken on any new young clients,
Right.
so that might be different.
Yes.
Um, because you don't already have that established
Hmm.
connection. You don't have the rhythm
Hmm.
of the sessions where, so all of the younger clients that I'm doing this with, we've already built that trust and rapport.
Right.
So that's kind of where I might differentiate how you can do child centered online and do just a lot of tracking, a lot of validating, a lot of just, really just reflecting, that type of thing.
Yeah, I think
And
that's a
it's
good point. Yeah, it is about. I think it is with younger children. I think, I would think it would be difficult to start a new relationship online. Although even Eliana Gell said, but you never know until we try.
yeah,
So, but yeah, I would be reluctant to do that myself. But I do think that, I guess the point is that it is possible to be present and to be connected and to feel connected, and for your client to feel you. As you said, if you show up and you're real and you're authentic and you're present. Um,
absolutely. And
and
they need that right now.
yeah, yeah,
Even if their parents are handling it, in the most ideal way possible, whatever that is, of explaining this situation that we're all in together for the first time, that, none of us really know how to handle this situation, in the ideal way. And so by being that one point of connection, especially if you can keep their session on the same day and time that it normally is,
hmm,
it gives them something to look forward to. It helps them stay connected to one of their people
hmm,
that's outside of their family.
right. And it's kind
And
of continuity of care. It's
Yes.
maintaining that continuity, which is so important right now to keep the schedule, to keep the routine. That's soothing.
Yeah, they've already lost so much of that.
Yeah.
With their teachers, with school being closed for the rest of the year. The last thing they need is to lose their therapist as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your perspective. And I will post your contact
Thank you.
information so people could get in touch with you if you have availability for some consultation. And
Absolutely.
I
Love
really
to help.
appreciate you taking time to meet with us. I know you're really busy because you've got a lot of clients.
Well, thank you, Lynn. It was good to talk with
It's
you.
good
And
to talk to you
yeah,
too.
if anybody wants to reach out, I'm happy to help however I can.
All right. Thank you, Susan.
All right. Thanks, Lynn. Bye.